Hey guys, good evening. It is February the 21st, and I've been away for a while because I went out of town over the weekend um, for jujitsu, promptly got sick. And so I've been sick as a dog all week. I'm still kind of like, you can hear I'm like raspy. So pardon any coughing or sneezing I may do during this video. I find it interesting that I'm sick, though, not the last full moon, but one of the major, I think it was a new moon back in November. I ended up sick as a dog too. So part of me feels like it's certainly not the fact that I was totally deprived of sleep and out late at night drinking and with my coat off outside in the middle of winter in downtown Nashville last weekend. It's obviously because there was an energy shift, right? That's why I'm sick. I don't know. In any case, I'm getting better, thank you. And I wanted to do a video because I haven't been on in a while. And I was definitely guided to get on and talk to you guys a little bit. Sorry, I'm moving my computer around. Um, I do want to look into some of the energies since we've passed. Okay, so the way that I feel about what we've just gone through is something like being catapulted, um, and it's almost like our bodies are trying to catch up. So if you are experiencing any illness, be part of that. Could also be that you're an idiot and you're out late at night in downtown Nashville without a coat on. So it could be one or the other. Um, I really do feel like, though, many people, we talked last time about really stepping into our authenticity and the necessity of that, and how that is kind of what everything from this point forward is going to be built on. And I feel like there's a lot of that going on, some still being released, people sort of releasing relationships, jobs, all kinds of stuff that do not serve them anymore, that are no longer resonating with them. And I sound like a broken record the more I keep saying that, but I can't stress to you how important that is. And it's not just about those experiences. It's about some of the personal messages I've received is just making sure that every one of my interactions with people is as authentic as it can be, because it's not unusual that we will try to hide the vulnerable parts of ourselves just in a normal everyday conversation, because it's not socially acceptable to be 100% vulnerable all the time. And so our ego protects us by dropping down different shades in front of us. Okay. And I have definitely received lots of messages surrounding that, because I do protect myself a lot. I mean, human beings are sensitive to begin with. I'm a water sign, very sensitive. I'm just a sensitive person. And so it's pretty easy for me to put on the armor of humor, or the armor of indignance, or the armor of toughness. All those come very easy to me. So it's not about saying that all of those things are necessarily good or bad. It's not really about good or bad, but it's like, what is authentic? What is authentically you? And there are probably bits and pieces of each one of those things that are part of you. And so it's all about integrating that with your core self, dropping anything that is inauthentic to you, and accepting all the rest and integrating it. Okay. And the only way I can really tell you how to integrate it in an easy, palatable, and bite sized fashion is to picture that part of yourself and send love to it until it feels like it has melted into you. Okay. Um, so I knew that was going to happen at some point. Um, I'm just going to do some cards because I really want to. So, I'm going to take some cards from the Sacred Geometry deck. This is the Arcturian deck, Keys of the Arcturians, or something like that. And it provides different sacred geometries for different subjects. So I just want to find out in this time, in the 2 weeks before the next new moon, what is it then that we are focusing on now? Now, where do we go? Now that we've been catapulted, where are we going? What do we do now? What do we need to integrate? What information do we need? Drawn towards these two. Okay. Here's the first one. This one, oh, this one is release. Sorry, there we go. Release. The second one, oh my God, dead. You cannot make this shit up. Second one is integration. Literally cannot. Okay. So the way that I usually handle these is to focus on the geometric patterns of release and integration. And I'm gonna go up to the higher power, the creator, the divine, however you want to think about it. I'm also going to call in the Arcturian Council. And I'm going to make the command that these geometric, sacred geometry patterns be overlaid upon our energies to receive that integration. Please say yes out loud. And I will go up and make that command now. Wow. Let me know what, if anything, you felt during that. I actually felt like a big jolt of energy. So that was cool. That was really cool. So those are the first two messages, release and integration. So the next 2 weeks, I have a feeling like they're showing me a waterfall. It's basically going to be a tumbling down of the waterfall of all the things that we're releasing and integrating that we've been working on, and the release of all the things that are inauthentic. Okay, just continuing throughout this time. But I just want to see if there's anything else that they want to share with us. This is the deck Dreams of Gaia. I got this like a couple months ago. It's similar to the tarot, but it's not exactly the same. So I don't know what all the cards mean, but I'm going to read them intuitively, okay? Unless I feel called to read the book, but I think I'll be reading intuitively. So if you have this deck and I say something different than the book, it's because I'm channeling it through, not doing book meetings. What else do we need to know during this time following this last full moon in Virgo? About how to best use our time and energy. This is information for the collective, please. Thank you. Start with this. All right, we have the King of Fire, and we have Union. I am feeling, in fact, I'm hearing, obviously this can be a fire sign, this can be a person. The first message I'm actually getting, though, is about your ego, and that it is actually this is a process of purifying the ego. It's almost like purifying through fire in a sense, but that this union card is suggestive of the fact that that purification is allowing it to integrate more fully into your system. And it's almost like there's a grounding of this kind of sun-based egoic energy with the more earth-based feminine energy in your body. So this is balance of the masculine and feminine, and that we need to continue to work toward that in our own energy systems. Now, as you do that, um, okay, so they're saying you draw in. It's almost like when you draw in, excuse me, energy from the universe and or channeling your kundalini energy. Um, as you balance yourself out, it's like you draw in additional power. And so this powerfully charges your creative endeavors, your career endeavors, your relationships. If they are authentic, they made sure to make that extremely clear distinction. And it's going to open up different gifts. They're showing me the third eye. So some of you who might be currently opening up your psychic gifts a little more, they're also showing me the crown chakra right now. So opening up the connection to the divine. And it somewhat ironically comes through this connection to the very human um, purified ego and the driving that into the earth, into the ground, the grounding of that, and the balancing of the masculine and feminine within us. So, so this is definitely a time of balancing and of allowing that purification. Okay, the getting rid of anything that is inauthentic. I'm receiving some personal messages right now. Um, I also feel like there's this wolf howling down here, and there's also this eagle, and there's this almost sense of ceremony here. And so it's like I almost feel like I'm hearing like ritual baths or energy healing or any kind of like ceremonial type um, purification is not a bad idea at this time. It doesn't mean so. What I'm hearing is that the important thing, because I'm kind of like sometimes I hear you guys grousing and being like, "Well, I don't believe it." But what I'm actually hearing is like the intention set behind that is the important thing. So it's not that I'm like, you have to do ritual baths because you are unclean. It's really about setting the intention of helping to cleanse and balance your energy. Okay. So moving on from that, let's get a couple more cards about what we're doing in these next couple of weeks to prepare for our next phase. Okay. There's the King of Air. And it says, I don't, this is unusual. I don't know how to pronounce this word. I'm such a like word dork. I know a lot of words. I don't know this word. The Senescow or something. I have not looked this card up. However, it feels to me, actually, okay, so I'm going to tell you what I'm feeling. Then I might look this up in the book just because, and I don't know if that's my ego coming through, like wanting to not get it wrong, or if, I don't know. We'll see. So I am That card just moved in front of me, just so you know. Um, I'm almost getting this like seer vibe out of this whole thing, like being able to objectively visualize and manifest through. I'm hearing ritual again. So it could be that ritual is very important during these next 2 weeks. Um, it could also not just be ritual, like something really big and heady, but like repetitive behaviors and looking at our repetitive behaviors and what is, again, back to the authenticity, what is authentic and what is addictive, you know? So think about your habitual behaviors. Do you have a set time to do something every week and you keep doing it, but you're really like burning yourself out and harming yourself by it? I don't know why that came to mind. One of you might need to hear that. So think about that. Do you have other addictive behaviors that need to be cut off? um, But I'm also on the flip side really still hearing the word ritual, that this is kind of like the key into the sacred knowledge that comes out, that's coming out of the universe at this time, and that there is quite a lot um, that is coming to us to place us in our leadership. Um, that there, each person has some way or some form of leadership that they are stepping into, whatever that might be. It might be large, it might be small. Um, it might be of their family, it might be of themselves, you know. And so, in some way, we are required to step in our own power and our own leadership. And there is a sense of objectivity that needs to come out of this, um, at this time. Just allowing you to release the thoughts, the repetitive thoughts, that have been holding you back, keeping the thought patterns clear, and keeping the thought patterns clear. And they want you to think about not attaching emotions to some of your thoughts at this time, because you are manifesting them extremely quickly. So if you're not in full command of your thought patterns, okay, you're going to manifest your negative thoughts very quickly, especially if you are doing them in a, oh my God, this is what they're saying, especially if you're doing them in a ritualistic fashion, like, um, you get up every morning, you go to work. They're showing me this right now. So you get up every morning, you're going to work, you're driving in the car. In the car, you're going over all your anxiety and how you hate your job and how you hate your life and how you're not making enough money. You're doing this every single day, and you're putting the power of your misery behind it and your anger and your frustration. That is literally a ritual to create the negative shit that you don't want in your life, okay? Um, and so they're asking us to objectively step away from those thoughts, remove the emotion, remove the repetitive behavior, and allow those thoughts to be more open, free, and objective. And what's the other word they're trying to say to me? Um, it's like clear or airy or something. They want the thoughts to be less laden with heavy material. Okay. Um, because you're manifesting what you do not want. Some of you are, okay? Depends on where you are in your journey, but all of us do this, okay? So, you know, if you're sitting there being like, I don't do that anymore, you probably do. So everybody does this. It's just human. Pay attention to your rituals. So that means then on the flip side, again, apply ritualistic behavior to the things that you want to see, okay? But then again, objectively pull yourself away from it, because if you continue to think about it and you browbeat it to death with your brain, that does not allow the universe to do its work. Okay. And the universe needs to have the open door, the clear pathway, the wide open road to be able to send you your manifestations. Wow, that was all over the place. Okay, let me get a couple more cards. We have the 10 of Earth, and we have the 3 of Fire. What I'm feeling from these, this is again like, I feel like showing the true nature, the true divine nature of yourself. This is removing, she's removing that mask, but she is so like, she's holding this dragon. She's like crowned with leaves. I feel like there's this divine nature about her. There's this gentle nature about her, and there's this deer in the background. And I feel like this is about treating ourselves. There's some inner child-like feeling that's coming in here. This is like treating ourselves kindly, and authentically, just allowing that mask to come off and loving it anyway, right? Loving yourself anyway, regardless of the mask, the way that you felt you had to protect yourself. This is allowing the universe to protect you. This is you knowing that you're safe, realizing that you are safe because you are in your own power, you're in your own authenticity, in your power. You have everything you need. You have all abundance already provided to you. Okay. She has everything she needs. She's carrying everything with her. She has protection of the dragon. She has the spirit animal of the deer, the gentleness there. And she's moving through the forest. And that kind of brings me to this card, which reminds me of the Fool, even though it's the 3. And it's sort of the same idea, like setting out in this new timeline as a maiden version of yourself. Okay. Even though this is a number 10, there are more numbers in this tarot, so that this is not actually the last of the suit. This is like a protected divine journey to yourself, to your innermost nature. Okay. And so that just continues to kind of echo that feeling of who are you, and stripping away all of those layers of shit you are not. I feel like that's going to continue for a long time because we have a lot of those layers, and it can require you to move away from certain things in your life. But I feel like, look at his face. Like, I feel like you're determined and you're not upset about it. You're just, it's like going on, it's like a backpacking adventure. I know I took off, I went to school in Russia for a while during college. And then after that, I just decided I was buying a ticket to the Middle East. And I flew to the Middle East, and I was on this backpack adventure with myself. Didn't realize how dangerous it was, but I wanted to test my skills. I wanted to see who I really was, what was I made of? Kind of. And in some ways there are masks involved in that. Like what I did at that time was to test how tough I was, sort of. Um, but in some ways this is like walking forward with your authentic strength, away from wherever you have been, taking with you only that which is true. Okay. Um, he's just got this like smug, I know where I'm going, but you don't face. Like, I know where I'm going. Wouldn't you like to know? Something like that. And in that way, I feel like this is such a positive kind of cheeky adventure for all of us because um, once you are acting from your inner child, your pure self, your naked truth, so to speak, you are that cheeky child, that cheeky innocence, that cheeky adventure. Like, what would you have done as a kid? Like, how many times did my sister and I run off into the woods thinking we were discovering new lands, like in the middle of freaking Ohio? Like, to us it was new and it was amazing. And we would come back and be like, did you know there are horses back there? And so that's the feeling I'm getting here, is that like innocence and that newness and moving away from anything that is just not you, that is just not supporting and loving and validating and honoring that part of you. Okay. Doesn't mean that thing that you're moving away from is just told to tell you that. So you might have people or things in your life that have been amazing, a job that has supported you for 10 years and has gotten you where you are and taught you a million things. If you're not resonating with it anymore, it's time for this new adventure. Okay. Maybe it's a partner who you love very much on a deep level, but they're not part of this next chapter. You know that your story with them has come to an end. Um, and that's where gently leave them to their own story. You're not really leaving them behind. You're allowing them the gateway into their own story. Okay. Um, Finally, I just picked up a chunk of cards. At the bottom was the three of water. Okay. The three of water. It's another three. And I sort of get the same feeling from this, that she's sort of off on a journey. I almost feel like chariot energy here. And maybe it's because of all the straps wrapped around her hands and the way that her hair is like, I wanted to say blowing in the breeze, but it's flowing in the water. And it's like she is moving forward, determined, strongly, with strength and determination, um, fully in her own power. It's almost like she's taking off these wraps, like these things, these ties that bind. She's taking them off and she's moving confidently in the future. Okay. The fish are there with her, and to me, those often mean like abundance and positive, happy things ahead. Okay. Um, and I feel like a depth of emotional satisfaction ahead once these ties are shed. So this is all very positive. I mean, and it just goes to that feeling of being catapulted into a higher timeline or the future or whatever. Trying to decide what I want to end this reading on. I think I'll grab the. I was thinking I want to do. I think I'll do. God, I'm going back and forth. I think I'll do Moonology. And I never did look up that card. I guess the message that needed to come out got out though. All right, so let's get a card to cap off this reading, because we're now at 30 minutes almost. Guidance for the next 2 weeks as we move through or past the Virgo full moon toward the next new moon. What's next? What are we doing now? What's the final guidance? The underlying guidance here. Confidence is the key to your success. New moon in Leo. So that makes sense. I mean, hello. I feel like all of this is confidence. Although, to be fair, I never said that word. I don't think even once in this reading so far. But that's why it's good that this came up. So, confidence is important. Knowing and trusting, knowing that you are on your way, and the only thing that you can do wrong right now is to not be your authentic self. I feel like that is such the core message of everything that is coming up here. That's going to bring you into balance. It's going to help you clear these negative thought patterns, and it's going to move you forward with confidence, okay? Into the very next cycle, whatever that is for you in your life, whether you're talking about spiritual ascension, which is what most of my followers are here for, but some of you, it's artistic endeavors, it's family matters, it's job matters. Confidence is your key to success. Remember that, okay? And be authentic. Be authentically you in every situation. I wanted me to remind you of that, every situation. Okay, guys, if you want to schedule a personal reading with me or healing session, www.IamEmilyGear.com, and you can schedule there. Until then, hit like and share, hit subscribe, and I appreciate all of you guys so much. I will talk to you soon. Bye.